Well guys, I'm sure the big surprise is not that big of a surprise because I have to come up with a catchy title to get you guys to click on the video. So it's only partially clickbait. Harley Davidson did give me a brand new 2022 Lowrider ST, the bike you see me riding right now. Unfortunately, it's only mine for the moment. So if you watch my videos, most of you will know that I am based in Greenville, South Carolina. And clearly we are not in South Carolina, we're in Southern California for Born Free. Harley Davidson was nice enough to provide me with this ride to get me around while I'm here in style. I've already been to day one of Born Free. I'm meeting up with a friend of mine, Taylor on Two Wheels. She's not on YouTube. I want you guys to go to her Instagram though. I'll throw it up on the screen right now and pester her about getting on YouTube. So she does a lot of stuff on Instagram, but she's a rad chick. Put like 60,000 miles on her bike in 2 years, which is insane. It's gonna get windy with this speed, so I'll catch up with you guys as soon as I meet up with her.
So I'll give you guys some backstory really quickly. I came to Southern California to go to Born Free. I got this Lowrider ST from Harley Davidson to ride to the event, and I did go to the event. I went to day one with the intentions of let me scope things out and kind of see the lay of the land and see how everything works, and then I'll come for day two, and that's the day that I'll collect content. Well, that didn't happen. Here's why that didn't happen, and here's the reason for the title of this video, saying that this is the best bike that Harley Davidson has ever made. I fell in love with this bike so much. Literally all I wanted to do was ride it. I didn't want to go look at other motorcycles. I wanted to ride this one. So when I ended up meeting up with my friend Taylor, she said, hey, do you want to go grab some food? She had also been to the event for day one, and she's gone every year, so she gets it. It wasn't a big deal for her to miss it. So we go to this really cool spot, some epic riding to get there. Get there and meet up with Audrey and Justin. End up talking to them. They mentioned going for a ride. Again, all I want to do is put miles on this bike. That's how good it is. So originally, when I was talking to Harley about the event, they asked what I wanted to ride. And I never want to be complicated, especially when it comes to things like this. So they offered the Lowrider ST, which was my first choice. The second, just for the record, was going to be a Road King S. My only thing was I did need saddlebags because this would be my only form of transportation, and I have to be able to get my stuff around. I was already a fan of the Lowrider ST based on the looks, and I've ridden every Lowrider S model since 2016. So I had no issues thinking that there's any way that I wouldn't like this bike. What I didn't know was that I would love this thing, especially out of the box. So with the 117, to me, honestly, it was just a number, and I didn't really think that much about it. Bone stock, that engine makes such good power. And if you've not seen any of my other videos, you'll know I am a huge advocate for, if nothing else, just put a stage 1 on your bike, an air cleaner, a tuner, and some exhaust. And that literally just lets the bike breathe better. And that's not to say this thing wouldn't have benefited from that. Clearly, after riding tons and tons and tons of different motorcycles, I can almost feel the restriction that this 117 has, even though it does have the high flow air filter. You don't have the tune, you don't have the exhaust. This thing made such good, smooth power and made a lot of it. So I was a fan of the engine. This is a newer engine. The Milwaukee 8's not newer, but this 117 platform coming in a Softail model is a newer concept. So I was excited to ride that. It did not disappoint. The handlebars, as far as the bars and risers, one of the best that Harley has done out of the box, in my opinion. I absolutely despise the bars that say come on the Road Glide, which literally feel like I'm pushing a wheelbarrow. They're too low and they turn in, and like I said, it just feels like wheelbarrow handles if you've ever pushed a wheelbarrow. So I hate those. These were fine. Would I change them? Yeah, I would go slightly taller. I mean, maybe 2 inches. And then maybe like an inch or 2 back towards me, because I felt like I was reaching just slightly. But I think if you change the seat, which is another thing I would do, typically I would run, say, a Saddleman seat, and they push me a little farther forward. So you may not need a pullback, and this is based on my height at 5'11". Those are the two things I would change. I would do the engine stuff. Clearly you would do some cosmetic stuff. You make the bike your own. Out of the box, the geometry of this bike, the power that it makes, and the saddlebags. I do want to talk about the saddlebags really quickly. So I have never been the biggest fan of the clamshell bags. I don't mind the way they look at all. To me, they look perfectly fine. It's just I don't like the way they open, and they do have the little nets inside to keep your stuff from falling out. However, they just seem small to me. I never once on this trip, and again, I'm using this bike as my only transportation. I'm lugging around all my camera gear and then water and sunscreen and all the other stuff I'm going to need for the day, because once I leave my hotel in Long Beach, there's no telling where I go. I ended up putting over 700 miles on this motorcycle. All that to say, the clamshell bags on the Lowrider ST were more than sufficient. The fairing, I knew I liked the fairing design-wise. It looked amazing in my opinion, and I've argued with a lot of the guys at the dealership that I do stuff with. They say, well, I like the FXRP or the FXRT fairing much better. I strongly disagree. I like the shape of this one on this Lowrider ST, as well as the way that it functions. I like this nice fit and finish on the inside of the fairing, and I love the fact that although it's on back order for months and months and months, Rockford Fosgate makes a speaker system that can literally drop right in there. Now, it's not quite that simple. There is some stuff you have to do, but the point being is that spot is designed exactly for those speakers to go in, and that is a really, really nice touch. I love this motorcycle so much that I had intentions of buying one. However, if you've tried to get a Lowrider ST, you've realized one of two things. It's almost impossible, and if you do get one, you're going to pay for it. So MSRP per Harley Davidson's website is about $22,000. I've seen these bikes on showroom floors going for as much as $27,000, $28,000. I don't think I've seen one hit that $30,000 mark yet, but after taxes, tags, titles, fees, all that kind of stuff, it's not unrealistic to say you may end up spending $30,000 to get a Lowrider ST. That's just not something I'm looking to do. However, hopefully maybe say around this time next year, who knows, we'll see kind of how things go. But the point of this video was to tell you guys how good that Lowrider ST truly is. Like I said, even out of the box, and basically nobody leaves them stock. I'm just telling you that I rode this thing. I'm splitting lanes, I'm doing all the stuff on it, and I felt at home. I had never ridden the ST model until I got out to California, and it was a blast. Like I said, 700 miles on this bike and absolutely zero complaints. So hats off to Harley Davidson. A huge thanks to Harley Davidson for allowing me to borrow this thing with no restrictions. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you have any questions at all about the Lowrider ST, hit me up. I may not know everything. I was on the bike for 3 days, but I do know a lot because, like I said, I want to get one myself. Subscribe if you're not already. If you made it this far, clearly you like the video or you just have nothing better to do. So since you have nothing better to do, go ahead and give this video a like. It would really, really help in the algorithm, which has not been my friend lately. I have some good videos coming out soon. Stay on the lookout for those. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.